And joining me now is Canadian retired Major General Denis Thompson, former force commander of the multinational force and observers in the Sinai. Thanks for being with us today.
Good afternoon, Carolyn.
Obviously, crucially significant for the Middle East and the world. Your thoughts on the reaching of this first phase of the peace deal?
It's exactly that. It's the first phase, and it's the longer term that we need to be focused on. But in the immediate short term, it's important to note that while the Israeli Security Cabinet has approved the plan, it still has yet to go to the full cabinet, which is occurring right now as we're having this conversation. We know that we're quite likely, though, and it's good to be cautiously optimistic or even optimistic, that the ceasefire will take place, that the hostage and prisoner exchange that was spoken about will occur, that the withdrawal of Israeli forces to control of only 53% of the Gaza Strip behind the so-called yellow line will occur, and that there'll be stepped-up humanitarian assistance. So these first steps are good, but it's the devil is in the detail in the subsequent phases. We have not yet received a clear statement from Hamas that they will disarm, that they have accepted that they'll have no role in governance, and of course the Israelis won't accept that. They'll be under a lot of pressure from President Trump, but it's unlikely they will withdraw unless Hamas comes through with the disarmament and declares that they'll have no role in governance.
We have seen temporary ceasefires in this war before. What will it take for this one to be lasting, in your opinion?
It's always going to be the same thing. It's Mr. Trump. The U.S. has to lean on Israel, and on the other side, there are multiple Arab and other states, such as Turkey, and we heard about Indonesia, that have to lean on Hamas to accept this deal. The other important bit to note is that the international community, or at least in this 20-point plan, there is an acceptance that there would be an international security force inserted into the Gaza Strip, and that a Palestinian authority of technocrats to govern the Gaza Strip without the presence of Hamas would be in place. And while that's a laudable goal, it's going to be difficult to execute. For years now, and this is an important point for Canadians, it's over, I think, at least 20 years, Canadians have been training Palestinian security forces in the West Bank, Canadians, officers and soldiers. And it's that force that would be moved to the Gaza Strip, at least from the Palestinian side, to try and insert the Palestinian Authority over there. They've had a difficult enough time in the West Bank, and I'm sure it'll be just as hair-raising in the Gaza Strip. So Mr. Carney mentioned it briefly, that Canada was providing a humanitarian aid and other items. I'm just assuming that has something to do with the Canadian forces and their presence in the region, both in the West Bank and, of course, in the Sinai, where I had once commanded.
Do you know anything from your contacts in the Canadian forces about how soon that aid might reach the people of Gaza?
No, I don't. I don't have any inside baseball, but it's interesting to hear the numbers. Of course, I am familiar with the crossings, both Rafah, and there's another one that's close to Rafah called Kerem Shalom. For them to push 400 to 600 trucks through a day is possible. The throughput of Kerem Shalom, which is a more technical crossing than Rafah, was somewhere in the vicinity of 400 vehicles a day, including fuel. So it's not impossible for the international community to meet the humanitarian demands of the people inside of the starving people inside of the Gaza Strip.
Well, and for the people of Gaza, that can't come soon enough. And for the people of Israel,
right,
the return of the hostages also cannot come soon enough. Thank you for your insights today. Retired Major General Denis Thompson, former force commander of the multinational force and observers in the Sinai.